Afghan forces have clashed with Taliban fighters in an operation to retake a key border crossing with Pakistan. The unrest at Spin Boldak follows weeks of growing violence as the Taliban fill the void left by U.S. troops. The security situation is stretching government forces to their limits and forcing many people to leave the country.
Desperate and looking for a way out, hundreds gather at this closed border crossing between Afghanistan and Pakistan with whatever they can carry. Battles between Afghan forces and Taliban fighters have escalated across the country in recent weeks.
There are various challenges to cover this kind of story.
On Friday, award-winning photojournalist Danish Shadiq was killed near Spinboldok's crossing. He was embedded with special forces when the military attempted to regain control of the crossing. It's an economic lifeline for southern Afghanistan, a crucial artery for exporting farm goods. Controlling it would be an economic windfall for the Taliban.
A day after Afghanistan President and the Pakistan Prime Minister traded barbs over the support to the Taliban, another disturbing incident has come to light. The daughter of Najibullah Ali Khail, Afghanistan's ambassador to Pakistan, was kidnapped and tortured by unknown individuals. This incident took place on Friday in Islamabad's highly secure Blue area while the 27-year-old was coming back home. She is currently under medical care at a hospital. According to the girl's medical report accessed by WION, she sustained injuries due to physical assault.
In Mumbai, India, landslides triggered by heavy rain have killed 25. Rescuers used their hands to dig up the ground and retrieve bodies. Authorities say more victims could be trapped inside the debris. Within the last 24 hours, authorities have reported 11 incidents of houses or walls collapsing in the Mumbai area. Meanwhile, in Japan, the death toll of a landslide in the Japanese resort town of Atami on July 3rd has risen to 15, and 14 people remain unaccounted for.
This is just what Argentina said it needed. Millions more doses of the vaccine to fight COVID-19. This in the week the country passed the grim total of 100,000 deaths from the pandemic. More than 30% of Argentina's 45 million inhabitants have received their first jab. Then supplies started to dry up. The majority of those arriving in Latin America coming from Russia and China. An imbalance Washington was keen to change. Now also donating vaccines to Brazil, Colombia, Peru and Ecuador.
It must stop.
When Rodrigo Duterte won the presidential election in 2016, he promised to bring unprecedented change to the Philippines by ending corruption within his first 6 months in office. But as he enters the final year of his term, Duterte's administration is being bombarded by allegations of plunder and abuse of power.
Na nakakuha ng government contracts amounting to billions of pesos.
Opposition leader Sonny Trillanes has revealed government documents that show how a longtime Duterte aides family has acquired hundreds of millions of dollars worth of contracts in the southern region of Davao, where Duterte was a city mayor for more than 20 years.
The search for survivors in stranded vehicles as the floodwaters finally start to recede in western Germany. Burst rivers and flash floods this week collapsed houses and claimed at least 157 lives across Europe. The German president visited the scene of some of the worst flooding in the town of Erpstadt near Cologne, where the disaster killed at least 43 people. These floods are the country's worst natural disaster in more than half a century. Hundreds of people are still missing. Over the past several days, the floods have cut off entire communities from power and communications. In Belgium, the death toll rose to 24, according to the National Crisis Centre, which is coordinating the rescue effort.